Hey Dad, what are you making?
Today we're making baked cod with crispy potatoes, a side salad, and some green beans. This one doesn't have a ton of ingredients, but it is really flavorful. So let's get started by chopping the potatoes. You can do this either by hand, but you can also use a mandolin if you want to. I chose to do it by hand just to show you how thin I was trying to slice these. They should be sort of thin chip size, making it so you're trying to have uniform cuts for all of them. Then we're going to place them in a bowl and then put olive oil all over them. Then generously sprinkle on some salt. You want a lot here, but we're going to do this a couple of times. Next, we're going to chop up some garlic that's going to go in there too. We want about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic that we're going to chop up pretty finely. To mince the garlic, I take that woody end off of each one of these. Then I go ahead and separate them, get the papers coming off. Next, I smash them, which also helps take the papers off a little bit easier. Then once the paper's off, go ahead and start slicing them up. You want to slice them fairly thin. Then we're going to go ahead and rough chop them and mince them even further. Once they're all finely chopped, go ahead and place those in with a bowl of potatoes. Next, we're going to go ahead and mix those all up, get the garlic in there, and start moving them all around so you can start to get all that seasoning inside. I noticed that we need a little bit more olive oil, so I put that on, drizzle it all over again. That way we make sure we're coating them really well. Stir them up, and then we're going to start putting them onto our sheet tray. I've used some parchment paper to line this, and we're going to make 4 stacks of these potatoes. So as you can see, I'm kind of shingling them all together so that way you get a little bit of space in there so that way they can be nice and crispy. Repeat that process and then go ahead and put them down. Here we're going to want to go ahead and salt and pepper them a little bit more, and then you're going to see that I'm also going to put on some parmesan on top as well. Once they're all seasoned up, we're going to go ahead and put them in the oven. We're going to put them in at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes so they get started and get nice and crispy before we put the fish on. So we're going to make one of our quick sides. Here are some fresh green beans that I'm going to cover with olive oil, a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then one last final ingredient. Some hot honey. We're going to go ahead and spread that on. Now go ahead and mix that up to make sure that we get everything coated nicely in there. Then they can go in the oven, and we're going to check on the potatoes just to see how they're doing. They're starting to crisp up really nicely. Today we're using Pacific cod. This comes from Wild Lassen Company. We subscribe to them and love getting their fish that is wild caught, frozen, and then shipped right to our door. Once they're patted dry, let's go ahead and put a generous amount of salt on top of each one of them. Next, some freshly cracked black pepper. Do about 10 cranks per fish. As always, I'm trying to pull some things from the garden, so here's some tomatoes that will go on the salad. Then we also have some fresh thyme that's going to go on top of our fish with its lime as well. So I chop these up, and then I go ahead and make slices of the lemon so that way we can put those on top of each slice of fish too. Then I pull the potatoes out. They're like gotten really nice and roasted. So now we can get the fish and put that on top of there. Then once we have all the fish on top of the potatoes, we're going to take some of that thyme and we're going to place it on each fish. Then what we're going to do is once we have it all covered, we're going to go ahead and put some of that lemon on top as well. That's going to add a really nice lemon herb flavor to each one of these fish while they bake and finish off in the oven. The one thing that we need to add here too is a little bit of butter. That's going to help, again, make it feel really moist, and we want to make sure that we add that nice buttery flavor, which is going to go also into the potatoes as well. Lay that on top. Oops, a couple of these keep sliding off though. That's okay. It's fine if it does, because you'll still get that flavor into the potatoes as well. Alright, we're going to let that bake for about 8 minutes. We want the fish to be fairly flaky, so just keep an eye on it so it doesn't overcook. Then we're going to go ahead and plate it up with our side salad and our green beans. Doesn't that look delicious? Alright, now it's time to eat.